What's up, YouTube? It is your boy JB, and I'm here today with the review for Power, Season 6, Episode number 6, and the episode was titled Inside Man. So, you guys, without further ado, let's go ahead and just jump into the video. Alright, so the episode, it opens up and we see Vincent. So, Vincent is talking to Tariq, and this is where we find out that Tariq told, Vincent that with him being in trouble, Ghost and Tommy would band together to, do whatever it takes to protect him. And he tells Vincent, okay, it's like, so once you get your money and you break even, remember, it's 50-50 between us. And I'm like, oh, so your little ass is in on this whole plan. So you weren't really kidnapped. So then one of Vincent's goons, once they put Tariq back in the car, he's like, so do you really trust him? And he was like, no. He's like, but once I get my money, I'm going to kill him, I'm going to kill Tommy, and I'm going to kill Ghost. And I'm like, oh, Tariq, your plan might backfire in your face. So then we see, Tommy and Ghost, they are arguing with each other. And, Tommy tells him, we're not cool. But, when it comes down to this whole thing with Tariq, that he's not working with Ghost. He's not working for Ghost. He's working with him. And, he also tells Ghost that he knew about Tariq and this drug. And, Ghost's like, you knew about Tariq? And he was like, yeah. So, Tommy tells him, basically what we can do to, combat this money is, he can clean it. What he's saying about this $2 million that they have to get him, getting thrown off. Somebody texting me. This $2 million, he could, move some of Jason's weight, so that way he can, they can come up with the money. But the only thing is when it comes down to Tommy doesn't have any way to get some clean money, and Ghost says, don't worry about that. I got some leverage that I can use. He's like, you got leverage? I'm like, you got leverage? I was even with Tommy, like, what leverage does he have? But let's speak about this leverage that he has. So we see Ghost and he's talking to Tate. And he's asking Tate for a 24-hour loan. He's only asking for half of it. So he's only asking for $1 million. And Tate's like, nigga, what? He says, he tells him no. Fuck you. He ain't giving him shit. But then James says, he has this recording of him when he was a cop, which I didn't even know Tate was a cop. Did anybody know that Tate was a cop in the past? Because I completely did not know that. Did not know that. So eventually Tate does give, James the money, because James told him, okay, if you give me the money will be back here within 24 hours. He says, cool. Make sure it's here within 24 hours. So we see Tate the next day. Tate wants his motherfucking money back. And, James says it's coming back, but he says, and then, it's not there yet, but it's coming. And Tate tells him that money needs to be there, because if it's not, that recording that you got ain't shit. Unless he had, without a campaign. So then we see Tasha. She comes over, and she's asked, she's talking to Ghost because she found out about Proctor from annoying as Blanc and another detective, and she's telling them how they want to question Tariq. And she says, Ghost says, you know what, I'll give Vincent a call. And, I'm getting my stuff thrown off. He says he'll give Vincent a call because, Vincent is not going to want the cops on his ass either. And Tasha says, you know what, I'll set it up. And then, he says, well, I'll make the call. So now, it's just, this episode was kind of all over the place, and it really 100% did not make a lot of sense to me, but I'm going to still review it nonetheless. All right, so then we do see Vincent. He's on board with Tariq, talking to Blanca and that other detective. And, he said he did this because, Ghost doesn't know that this whole kidnapping thing was Tariq's idea. So then, Tasha comes up to the van that he's in, and she's like, are you okay, baby? He says, yes, Mom, I'm scared. I'm like, wow. Why is he, for the life of me, I just cannot understand why he's doing this to his mom and his uncle Tommy, who he claims to love. Now, Ghost, I can understand, but Tommy and Tasha just don't get it. So then, they go in there, and so they're getting ready to go to meet Blanca. So she tells him, like, after this over with, you're not getting back in the car with, Vincent. And he says, yes, Mom, I got to get back in there because he has people watching Big Mama and Yaz. I'm like, really? You involve your little sister and your grandma? What a piece of shit. So then Blanca's annoying, Blanca's annoying ass and the other detective, they question Tariq. And Tariq does nothing but lie through this whole questioning with those two. And then after the whole thing is over with, because he was talking about there's some kind of racist guy at the apartment, at the apartment that Ghost lives at, and he that's why he went down the exit the way he went. And once they leave, Tasha like, boy, that was a lie. I know that was a lie. I know you better than you know yourself. What's up? And he didn't say anything. So then, once they get before they get back to Vincent's truck, he tells Tasha that he heard Vincent say that once he gets his money, Ghost, Tommy, and him are all dead. I kind of wish they would kill him, but we're gonna move on. All right, so next we got Tommy. So Tommy, he went to go see Jason to get the drugs, and when he gets there to do the transaction with Jason, he gives Jason a check. And Jason's looking at him like, wait a minute, you've never asked for this much. So he's like, what the hell is going on with you? And, Tommy's like, oh, I just have a very motivated client that I need to sell to. And Jason's like, okay, cool. So then we see Ghost. He was talking to Dre. And he was telling him that he needs some primeras. I had the word R with that one. So then, and he needs them to get, they need to get in and out within 24 hours to make the coins. And, Dre thinks that this might be a setup. And Ghost says, it's not a setup, that this could be an opportunity for him to, meet up with Jason. But then, he's like, but, I got Sax on me. And, Ghost like, don't worry about Sax, I got that. He's like, your daughter's in the system, so either he did this legally or illegally. And if he did it the right way, then, he was like, he can use tape to get his daughter back. So then Dre's like, okay, cool, I'm on board. So then we do see the crew, Tommy's crack squad crew, and they show up and they asking him like, wait a minute, why is there so much drugs here? And Tommy says, well, the thing is we need to move this within the next 24 hours with no questions asked. Now, when he said no questions asked, 2-Bit and Spanky asked him 2 fucking questions. And he's like, and I'm with Tommy, I'm like, do y'all not know what the fuck no questions asked mean? Like, no questions asked, motherfucker. Shut up. So then, he also says, well, you know what? I'm not going to be able to pay you guys. And they're like, wait. Whoa, no, bro. We don't work for free. That ain't what we do. But then I think his name is BG. He says, oh, I got you, boss. I'll work for free. Which forces 2-Bit and Spanky's hands to work for free. And I'm like, thank you, Big BG. Thank you for doing that. So we're going to move on, you guys. All right, guys, so you guys remember that I said earlier that Blanca had a conversation with Tariq. So we see Blanca and the other detective. So, they met up, they were intercepting where Ghost was. And she, they asked him could they look around. And then they said that, they want to talk to Tariq because they feel like Tariq knows a little bit more about Project's death because there was no sign of forced entry. And then, Ghost is like, I wasn't here. I was on a date with Ramona. And they're like, we know. We definitely know that. So then we also saw Blanca annoying ass, and she shows up at the daycare that Tasha has, and that's where she told Tasha that Project was dead, and she's like, I don't know nothing about that, and they're like, yeah, we don't believe you know anything about it. We think Tariq knows something about it, and she wants to talk to Tariq, and I'm just over Blanca. So there are 3 people. Technically, there's 4 people now. Nope, there's 5 people that I need to catch a bullet. Quick, fast, and in her, they can catch the same bullet, can just ricochet. Keisha needs to catch a bullet. Tommy needs to catch a bullet. Blanca needs to catch a bullet. Sax needs to catch a bullet. And Tariq. Which Tariq can be last on the list, but those 4, the first 4 that I named, gotta catch a bullet. Gots to catch a bullet. Now, before last week, I would have said Tommy, but after last week's episode, Tommy, without a doubt, got to catch a bullet. And we're going to talk about Tommy a little bit later in the video and what I think about Tommy. But definitely Keisha, because Keisha, and especially in this episode, Keisha's attitude annoyed the fuck out of me. Like, seriously, she got on my fucking nerves. So then we saw Vincent. He walked up to Tasha, and he tells her that Tariq is with him. And, he'll be good until Ghost and Tommy make good on what they said that they'll do. And he needs her to put a battery in their back to make sure that it gets done. And, then Tariq goes back. I mean, not Tariq, but Vincent went back to the car. and I'm going out of order. I realize that, but Tariq, we found out that Tariq was playing his mom as well, because he told Vincent that Ghost did not tell Tasha that he had been kidnapped. He says, "See, I told you I know them." Like, I just don't understand this kid. Like, you, I can see it if it was just your dad, but it's your mama and your Uncle Tommy, and mostly your mama. Like, I would never do my mama like that. She ain't done nothing to you. Your daddy, yes, but your mom, you a little fuck nigga, is what you are. All right, so then we see Ghost. He goes to visit Tommy, and Keisha's there. And, Ghost thanks Keisha. She was like, "I don't fuck with you." And I'm like, "Girl, shut up." Oh, she worked my nerves this whole entire episode. And she says, "I'm not doing this for you. I'm doing it for Tommy." Okay, that's fine. Shut up. And then Tommy basically told her, "Shut the fuck up." And, he goes down. Oh, yeah, he told her, "Shut the fuck up." So basically what it is, if the fuck was that? Damn. So basically, Tommy tells her, like, if he goes down, if Ghost goes down, he goes down as well, and she don't want that. So, Tommy says his crew is moving away, but, he needs some more hands, and Ghost says, "You know what, I got you." He says he got a guy that owes him a favor, and Tommy's like, "Do I know him?" He says, "No, you don't know him." "Yes, you know Miss Dre." So then Tasha comes over, and she's going off on Ghost, and, she sees the books, and says, she says, "Are you back in the game?" He's like, "I gotta be to make this money, Tasha." And she said, "You know what? Well, let me clean the money through my daycare." And Keisha says, "I got this taken care of." I'm like, "Bitch, shut up." Oh, God. And then not Keisha, but Tasha tells her, like, "Girl, bring me your books so I can make sure that everything is correct." And she's like, "No." And Tommy's like, "Let her help." So then, we see Ghost. He leaves to go meet up with Tate. So then, we see Tasha. She's telling Keisha what she has on the books is fucked. She's like, "You need to order, you got this, but you said you only ordered 10, hair dryers. You need to say you ordered 100. So then, we see Zig show up. And then, she gives him some money. And, Keisha tell Keisha, like, you got to get out of here. So then Keisha comes back and she's like, "Girl, who was that?" She's like, "Oh, that's somebody I went on a date with." She said, "Girl, that is not your type." She said, "What do you mean that's not my type?" I'm like, "Why are you being so nosy?" But then Tasha lets her know everything that's going on. I'm like, "Oh my God, Tasha, why would you tell Keisha about people?" So then we see they go to the strip club. I can't remember what the girl's name was that we met in last week's episode. Let's see what her name was. I forgot what the chick name was. I literally forgot that chick's name. It's unimportant right now. But whatever that chick's name was, that was had her son. We see her at the club, and so Tasha's asking them, like, "Can we trust your girl?" She's like, "Yeah, my girls are the shit. Like, I trust these bitches with my life." And then we see the girls. They end up moving the weight. Like, they just sliding it to people. I'm like, wow. And I mean, I would say it was inconspicuous, but it really wasn't that inconspicuous, because if there was an undercover cop in there, they definitely would have saw them. Because one girl, now the stripper girl, the one that was stripping, she was slick with it, because she had it in her hand, and he was tipping her. That one was cool. But the girl that was at the bar, I'm like, really? You gonna put it on the bar and just slide it over? I mean, I know you ain't got no other way to do it, but damn, could it be a little less obvious? Just saying. Like, a little less obvious. Okay, so where we at? Cause I lost my train of thought. So yeah, and then we see Dre, old big nose ass. So there's a kid on the street selling some drugs, and then Dre just, takes out a knife, pocket knife, and just walks up to the kid and just and stabs him. I'm just like, what the fuck was that? So now they have the money on both ends, from Ghost side, Ghost and Tasha's side, and the money from Keisha and Tommy's side. So then Ghost and Tommy are together, and Ghost wants to talk things out. And why is he coming up by my window with that goddamn weed eater? God damn. So Ghost want to talk some things out with Tommy, but Tommy don't want to. And so as they're driving in the car, and as they get to a light, they get cornered. I'm like, "Oh shit, who is this?" I'm like, "Is this Vincent?" No, it wasn't Vincent. It was Jason, and Jason is pissed the fuck off because Ghost hasn't paid him his money that he owes him, and Tommy hasn't paid him his money for his protection. And Tommy's like, wait a minute, you paying him for for whatever, and Ghost is like, you paying him for protection from me? And they were like, yep. And so Jason takes half of the money. So now they're fucked like Chuck. I'm like, well, damn. So then what they do is they take the half that Jason didn't take, and they go and give it to Vincent. Vincent's like, no, I said 2 million, not a million. So then he has a bag of fucking oranges, and he has a bag. He puts some oranges in it, and he just beats the shit out of Tariq. I'm like, I know this is acting, but come on. No, whatever. I'm over this. So then they go back to the girls and they say that, Jason robbed them and if they need more product. And Keisha's like, Tasha, don't you feel like you should say something? And I'm like, really? And then she says, if we need more drugs, I can get some. And they're like, okay. And Ghost wanted to know who. She's like, no, I can't have you and Tommy meet Zig, and I can't have Zig meet you guys. And then, Tommy asked Keisha, how long did she know about this shit? She said, I just found out. He was pissed off at her. And I'm just like, oh, God. So then Keisha's like, after this whole situation is over with, we're done with them. Like, shut up. Please shut the fuck up. So then Tasha, she does get the drugs from Zig to move. So then we see Tasha, she tells Ghost the whole thing is a setup, from Vincent, that he'll kill all three of them once he gets his fucking money. And, so we see BG, he comes back. He's like, they were like, how much money you got? He says 40,000. And I'm like, 40,000? He was like, yeah, Zig shit ain't that good. Like, people on Yelp, they know his shit ain't good, so people ain't really buying it. Like they, like they buy the other shit. So then, Ghost gets a text message from Tay saying he wants his money. And Tasha's like, you know what? I got an idea. Why don't we hit Truth? He's like, I'm not going to rob my club, Tasha. She says, no. What you should do is you should have the fundraiser there. There's a lot of rich white people there with, jewelry, money. Let's do it that way. And then Keisha's like, y'all do need a fucking plan, a backup plan. And they were like, you know what? For once, you're right. So they go and kidnap one of Vincent's men to hold him hostage. Since Vincent has Tariq, they're gonna take one of Vincent's guys, which is a good plan. But I mean, that was the one good thing that Keisha has done so far. Probably gonna be the last thing she does good either. Alright, you guys, so I'm gonna throw this one scene in because I don't really know where to place it. So we saw Ghost and he was talking to Vinny, or cousin Vinny, whatever his name is, Proctor's cousin. He was just giving his condolences to him. And he also told Proctor, he says the guy that Proctor was running from, the guy that Proctor was running from, he tells him that is the one who he thinks killed Proctor. And I'm like, ooh, you don't know the half of it. But he tells him, you know what, I need your help to move some of this weight, which we never saw Vinny move the weight, but we did see Vinny in the episode, later in the episode. And I'm going to get to it in just a little bit. I'm so sorry that this video might be all over the place, but this episode was all over the fucking place. Alright, so we saw Ramona. So Ramona has made some big changes to Tate's fundraiser, and I think more specifically to the way that he raises money. And Tate is not here for it. And then, Ghost says, well, maybe we should just postpone the fundraiser. And Ramona says, no, we can't do that. So Ghost is like, how about we just do a raffle? People over here are so weird. How about they do a cash raffle? And she likes it. But Tate, however, does not really like it, but he says okay. And then Ghost asks for help with Andre's daughter. He says no, but Ramona says yes. So then we see Tate, he wants to know how James put the money at the fundraiser. He wants to know how James put the money back into the, into the account. James says that's not important. And he says, and then he gives him the recording that he has. He said that's the only one that I have. So then we see Dre, big nose ass, and he gives his guy some weight to move. And he tells him, come back to him when he run out. And he says, he'll get paid either way it go. I'm like, and Dre's like, let me find out you playing me. And he's like, nah, man, I don't know what you're talking about. Like, so then we see everyone in a fundraiser. We see Tate, we see Ramona, we see Ghost, and we see Tasha. They're all mixing and mingling with the people. And then, Dre is also there at the fundraiser. He's pushing some weight. So then, he sees Spanky show up. He's like, what the fuck? And then he also notices Two-Bit. So Two-Bit also spots him as well. So Two-Bit follows him, but slippery ass Dre Big Nose ass, he got away. So then, so we see Two-Bit, we see Spanky, and we see that other guy. So they're getting ready for the robbery. And then, so they come in to rob them. And Tate tells James, he's like, I know him. His voice sounds so familiar. And then he tells him, he said, that's Alphonse. And so, yeah, he noticed it. He figured out it was Alphonse when Alphonse stopped to talk to Ramona. And, Ghost takes out his gun from his back, and he hands it to Tate. He's like, take care of it. You got this. So then, Tate tries to talk to Alphonse, but Alphonse is not listening. So Tate takes the gun and boom, just shoots Alphonse dead. I'm like, well, damn. So then after the fundraiser, we see the news crew, and this is what Tate loves. He loves the story. He loves a good spin. So Tate is taking, which he did. He did do that. He technically didn't do it. It was a setup the whole way around. But, Tate is going to take all the credit, all the glory for doing this. He was like, oh, yes, I did save the people. And, because, they know that he was once a former cop. So this is giving him an upper leg in the race. And I'm like, oh, okay. I guess, if you say so. Don't think Tate's going to be governor, but okay. All right, then lastly, you guys, so we see Vincent. He shows up for the money. But this appears to be an ambush because, once they give him the money, he throws Tariq to them. And then some more cars pull up, and they're like, what the fuck is this? So then Proctor's cousin shows up, and he tells him, like, yo, leave him alone. Like, do you want a problem? Because if you want a problem, we got this. So then Tommy looks worried because, cousin Vinny or Benny, I can't remember what his name is, he told him that Ghost told him who killed Proctor. So, all is good. And Tommy, his face, he looked as pale as a fucking ghost. Literally and figuratively. So then we see Ghost. He's telling Tasha that it was Tommy that killed Proctor. And he said that, he was going through Tariq's phone and he saw that Tommy called him minutes before Proctor died. And Tasha like, you know what? He did lie to the cops. So now they figured it out that Tommy is the one that killed him and Tariq helped him do it. So then we see Tommy, he goes back to Keisha and he tells her that Ghost knows that he killed Proctor. And she's like, oh fuck, what are you gonna do? Because like, I don't know. Because he's like, I feel like Ghost is gonna take this a lot harder than he did Angela's death. You are so fucking right, you dumbass. Like, Tommy is a fucking dumbass. Proctor kind of set you up. And I don't know how you didn't realize that. You got set up, my nigga. Yeah, you killed him, but he went to Ghost's house as a safe place. And you just fell right into you just fell for a dumbass. So I hope Ghost kills him or I hope cousin Vinny kills him. Vinny and Benny. I hope one of those two kill that motherfucker. Tommy has been my boy for the last 6 years, but Tommy does stupid shit, sloppy shit, and it just is irritating to me. And then when he catches a bullet, let it just ricochet and hit Keisha. But you guys, that was a video. Again, I know that this review was all over the place, just like this episode was all over the place to me. But like the video, leave your comments, subscribe to the channel, and I will see you guys later.